Going on, world? This is James Grandmaster Facts Voice, and you're here for another Facts Project review. Today, we are going to be covering Author Immortal, Issue 2, of course, done by Frank Barbiere and Morgan Beem, design done by Sasha Head. What I can say about this particular issue in Issue 2 is that there is a second sequence of artwork that is done in this. I've seen that a little bit more in comics. I kind of equate that to, like, I listen to hip hop, so a beat switch. But yet there's two different producers that are doing the beat switches that are happening amongst the mainstream archetype of the story. And that is done by Kasenow and Lauren Affe. Now, to get into this story, from what we remember from issue 1, Hector Ramirez, an adjunct professor, has a healthy obsession with an author by the name of E.L.Vossler. And he is kind of given the opportunity of a lifetime because of his love for E.L.Vossler, he is introduced to a young lady with the help of his manager / girlfriend by the name of Sheila, to a lady by the name of Deborah Luckwell, which is kind of like an allegory for J.K. Rowling. And I find that fascinating. And she gives him this opportunity that she wants him to kind of co-write, or better yet, I'm not sure if they want to do it in a movie or better yet redo it in a book, but this one particular book called The Mage's Apprentice. And in order for him to do his research, he has to go to London. And to go to London, he is going to be basically living in E.L.Vossler's home, his mansion. If we remember from the first issue, this is basically the mansion where he ended up killing himself. And there is, of course, an encasement almost like Mr. Freeze's wife of his daughter living in glass inside of the walls. And then throughout issue 1, you saw these ink creatures that were just popping up. And I'm led to believe that every time somebody picked up an E.L.Vossler book, these creatures would then murder anybody who chose to read them. But Deborah Luckwell seems to have like an evil fixture, because in the act of writing, she starts to burn. It's kind of like somebody that is a total blown away sinner entering a church for the first time in like 60 years. Her fingers start to itch. Her bones start to quake. She can't even type the words. And there's a mysterious man sitting off to the sidelines. And the reason that she's chosen to co-write with Hector is probably because of the deal that she's made. It's like a deal with the devil, and this person and this shadowy figure that stands off to the sideline is almost like an incarnation of the devil, or so we seem. So when we get into issue 2, the happenings of Hector and his daughter Al, who is transgender, because he named her after one of the characters in this book. Her name is Alethea. She likes to be called Al. The only way that he was going to be able to make this trip was if they were going to go together. So they decide to go to E.L.Vossler's mansion together. And upon the encasement of seeing E.L.Vossler's daughter hidden within the walls inside of this private library that he just so happens to have in a staircase, they both get sucked into the story. The ink creatures that you saw throughout the first issue that were murdering people are actually bringing them into this world. Issue 2 brings us to the faction of when Hector wakes up. The first person he sees is Alethea, grown up in this world. And in these liner pages in issue 2, you come to find a young Alethea being raised almost like in a charm school type of way, giving the tutelage of not to be barbaric and having a choice as to who she would like to be in society. That civilization is the one thing that crosses us from being beast or common human beings. It's all this direction by another kind of shadowy figure, a male in a very draped garb with like beads laying in the front. And this is like almost like an honest tutelage, where you would expect that from E.L.Vossler himself. It's almost like he gave his daughter away to the story in order for him to be successful. The same way that Deborah Lockwell gave her, almost like sold her soul away in order for them to, in order for her to achieve this type of success. So we're given the introductions of this world. Hector is with Alethea, and Al, probably in some other portion of this world, is met with like this weird bird creature. And upon their first interaction, this Al is just like thinking to himself as to, maybe it's being kind to me. But then you come to realize that Al has a specific type of power in this world that she did not know that she had. And Hector, for the other hand, is merely trying to stop Alethea from killing him, explaining to her who he is. She is a warrior in this world, and for the first time, it's like, okay, when you're meeting somebody that you do not recognize, anything that looks strange in this world, I'm pretty sure you're figuring that you're going to kill. Al, on the other hand, is dealing with this creature of a sense, and you're seeing almost like those same ink patterns from those creatures being utilized, or better yet, almost manipulated by Al in order to like just get this creature away from him. When all is said and done, and then you're coming to the realization that Alethea, E.L.Vossler's books, is coming to some type of notion that Hector is not somebody that's going to cause any harm. You see Hector being dissolved into this world. So for the most part, what I'm thinking of how this is going to play into this story is Hector being consumed by this world, and Al having some type of power set in this world, and then Alethea being like almost like a guide of how this particular world works. Now, we have to come to understand that Hector has known these books since he was a child, so he knows them through and through. And then he's coming to the realization just before he is consumed of who Alethea is. Now there's still a significant distance between him and Al because of what basically transpired. And they have to reunite at some point. But I'm looking forward to more of this. Shouts out to Image Comics and Frank Barbiere and Morgan Beem for putting this together. Right now, going into issue 2. Also, shout out to Hassan, Otsmane, and Elhaou doing the lettering in here, because the storyline is very vast. And the way that he's depicting this, especially with the 2 different art styles, significant. All right, so we will see you guys next time on the channel for issue 3.